rebound in his career. Only Hall of Famer Kenny Stabler's got more wins without a loss in the divisional round, which is 5, by the way. So knocking on the door is Mahomes. Earlier today, Patrick gave us a scouting report on Jacksonville.
They're a fast, physical team. They fly around. They fly to the football. I got to do better at not leading guys into hits like that. So I'll try to protect my receivers the best I can, but we're going to still be aggressive. We're going to throw the ball down the field when we get the opportunities to. But it's all going to start with up front, our guys blocking their defensive line, which has a lot of great players there. So I'm just going to do whatever I can to have success every play that I get the opportunity to.
Looking forward to that matchup and this one, too. How about the Bills escaping a surprising close one against the Dolphins? Give you a little bit of an opening there, MJ.
Nope.
Close one. You expected it to be close. Turnover's a big reason why. Josh Allen threw 2 picks in the second quarter, a third issue in the third quarters. The Dolphins have scoop and score of Allen's strip sack. So turnovers, I get it. It's a major theme. It's a topic of conversation that's not going anywhere at this point. So, LT, you tell me, is his style of play, Josh Allen's style of play, is that a liability for the Bills?
Well, it certainly can be, of course. I mean, because that we know turnovers leads to you losing football games. However, this is a part of Josh Allen's DNA. I guarantee you, if we go back and look at, film of him in high school, go back to junior high school and Pop Warner. I guarantee you he played the exact same way. And sometimes that's the only way he knows how to play. Here's the key. You have to have a coach to be able to rein that in. And Brian Daboll, I'm just saying, he's with New York right now. He's got Daniel Jones playing the best football he's ever played. Maybe he was the one that was able to get Josh Allen to focus back in and not turn the ball over, rein him in a little bit throughout the game. That's the most important thing, because during the game, sometimes you get going, emotions get going, and you're playing ball. And so you have a tendency sometimes to get a little bit loose with the ball, and that's what's going on. Not saying that Ken Dorsey can't do that. We haven't seen it. So, maybe that's something Ken Dorsey has to focus a little bit more on, trying to rein him in throughout the game, but certainly it can be a liability.
Yeah, D-Hall, what are you seeing?
Nah, LT, I think you're right. I think you hit the nail right on the head. I kind of differ in the approach, though, right? Ken Dorsey was a former player, and he was a damn good player on those very, very talented University of Miami football teams, right, with some exceptional players. Ken Dorsey used to throw it around the yard. And so him being Josh Allen's position coach, you kind of feel like that relationship, now you're the coordinator, might tend to kind of lend to you being able to communicate with me just a little bit better. But you are absolutely right. You see those turnovers start to rear their ugly head. And we've always talked about it, especially the president of Bills Mafia, M-Rob. He's always talking about if Josh Allen can just compose himself and listen to some Zen music before games and not go out so amped up. And maybe that's what Brian Daboll was, that calming force. But I know Ken Dorsey has to be able to get Josh Allen to, it's a gift and a curse, right? That hero ball. Because if you throw it up to a guy like Stephon Diggs in a situation like that, do you trust Stephon to go make that play over another guy? And so to me, it has to be the right situation. And that 50-50 ball with a guy like Steph Diggs, maybe that's more of a 70-30 ball, and Josh needs to throw more of those instead of some of those other guys. But it can absolutely be a liability, and they can't win if he's throwing interceptions.
Yeah, D-Hall, I'm glad you bring up our good friend Michael Robinson, who will be on the set with us tomorrow during the game. Actually, when it's finished, he tweeted this: Bills need to call a game to protect Josh from himself. So I think it speaks to what both of you guys are saying.
Well, that game is coming in just a few days. Bills-Bengals, 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. And listen, the Bills-Bengals is the kind of matchup you want to see this time of year especially. But now, in a win-or-go-home scenario, the Bengals, they had a tougher time than expected against their division rival, the Ravens. Adding to that, Joe Burrow was sacked 4 times in that game. This one came down to one hero play. Sam Hubbard's scoop and score was luckily mic'd up thanks to our friends at NFL Films.
Bengals were able to do this at the end of the half.
Come out quick. was so scared of getting caught. I was so terrified of getting caught. I was like, he's on my ass.
He goes from you can't catch me to okay, but for real, they had me shook a little
Mark
bit there.
Andrews almost caught him. He tried
Literally, right there. But the thing is, you can't rely on this kind of epic hero play, right? What is your confidence here, D. Hall, in the Bengals heading into the divisional round against the Bills? You think they're shaken up a little bit after an ugly win? Hero, pick six and all.
You know what? They probably came into that Ravens game a little bit half-stepping. You think no Lamar Jackson. You know, we all say we're not going to take a team lightly, but maybe they did take that team lightly just a little bit. But I got to spend some time with Sam Hubbard in this offseason, and I tell you what, couldn't be happier for a dude. And, I mean, I got confidence in this team because just like last year when they went on that miracle run, they just found a way to get turnovers. Lou Adorumbo finds a way to have his defense get in position to somehow affect this game and make game-changing plays. And so, yeah, it was ugly, right? And they could have lost, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. The Bengals didn't, and that's what we said all last year on the run to that Super Bowl. Man, they should have lost this. They couldn't do that. And, I mean, those safeties made play after play. Jesse Bates, Von Bell, it didn't matter. They made plays. Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendricks. I mean, guys made play after play, and that's something that this team can say. They have playmakers on every single level of that defense. I didn't even mention Luke Wilson. He's hands down a top 5 linebacker in this league. So, I mean, they have a lot of playmakers that they're able to force those turnovers and give Joe Burrow on that offense more cracks at the apple.
Yeah, my confidence is not shaken at all, D. Hall. And I feel like Joe Burrow, to me, is the best quarterback that can play with pressure around him. Like, he never seems flustered, even when he's getting hit. And DeAngelo Hall alluded to it last year. It was the same case, right? He got sacked 9 times against Tennessee, and he still came out on top because he was confident and poised in the time where he needed to be. I think it's the same thing. We saw him under duress against the Ravens this last game, but when it counted the most, he seemed to be poised. He operated well within the pocket. And I think it's the same thing. This is how he plays. Jonah Williams is probably going to be out, so there you have it. More offensive linemen missing. But this guy, there's something about him. He knows how to operate under pressure.
Yeah, sacked, 60-plus times a season ago, still get to the Super Bowl. Offensive line issues, still a problem in terms of health, and yet here it is. Joe Burrow continues to win football games, as does Josh Allen. More on this game on today's show, not to mention all week long. But
has more rush yards, rushing touchdowns, and rushing first downs than young DJ. All right, LT, let's get into a little giant impact, if you will. The rushing attack for the G-men and the Eagles, both their star running backs and their QBs. A lot going on here. So I want you to give us, first, a little bird's eye view, because the Eagles averaged 147.6 rush yards per game in 2022, 5th most in the league. Give me an inside look at Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts' tandem here.
Yeah, they actually, both of these teams have similar, schemes. They both like to run the read option, but they do it in different ways. I want you to first watch Daniel Jones here. Watch his eyes. He's looking at this guy here, the defensive end. If this guy crashes down, he's going to pull that ball and get around the end. He's not going to crash here, so we're good. He's going to hand this ball off. But look at the hold there.
I know.
Look at the hold that's created, for Saquon to get through there. It's wide open to the safety here. No great blocks at the point of attack. We're going to roll it. Saquon is going to do his thing. Nice spin, another spin move. That's about 15 yards right there. So as we go on here, we're going to see another play. I want you to watch his eyes now. Same type of play. Look where he's looking. He's looking at this defensive end, which is a defensive back. Daniel Jones knows already he's going to keep this football. He has a blocker there. So it's going to be easy yards here. He keeps it. This guy gets caught in the wash. Daniel Jones is around the end for a nice first down. Now, the difference between what Philly does, watch this. I'm going to pause it here. You see the motion going, but watch Jalen Hurts. The difference that he's going to have a blocker. Daniel Jones didn't have a blocker at all. Reading the same thing. Now we have this guy is leading Jalen Hurts around the end. And he has no one to block. Watch how easy this is for Jalen Hurts to read. gonna fake it up inside. Nice blocker there. You give Jalen Hurts that type of space all day long, this is gonna be huge yardage. Now, when they take that away, they still got the scheme here. Look at the pullers here. This is incredible. Look at we have two pullers that are coming around. I don't know why my screen is not working here. They're gonna pull around for the handoff. And now you have a wide open hole in Miles Sanders because all the flow is going with Jalen Hurts. So they're kind of the same scheme with little nuances. And Philly does it well with the pullers and Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders. That's why it looks a little bit different than what the Giants do. At the end of the day, they both get it done.
And it happens in an instant out
Absolutely.
there. Split-second situation. So who has the better rushing attacker? Who will have it in this matchup?
Well, that's interesting because what Jalen Hurts are we going to see? Are we going to see a fully healthy Jalen Hurts? Or are we going to see the same type of plays where they get him out on the edge and allow him to run the football? Is that shoulder healthy enough? I don't know if it is. In this game, in this particular game, this man right here,
that's fair.
Saquon Barkley,
yeah.
I'm taking him amongst everybody else.
It's sort of hard to not, especially when you broke down, you saw the spin move. It's what he does. He's the definition of a game changer. But this one, though, it's going to be physical.